チャンネルでようこそ。これは私の Z です。Z33. Good night, good evening, good day from Japan, everyone on YouTube. This is my Z33 Fair Lady Z or 350Z, depending where you are in the world. This one is here in Japan, so it is called a Fair Lady Z. I just traded my Altezza for it. It was a 1G FE powered AS200 Altezza, which only has about 150 horsepower. It has 6-speed manual transmission and a Torsen LSD, and I was just learning how to drift it out here on the mountains. I did go to one drift event in that car, but that was it. So here we are. The wheel specs on this car are currently very trash because these wheels came direct off of my Altezza when we did the trade. So here's the inside of my Z. As you can see, all Zs come with a triple gauge pod from the factory. We can go ahead and power those up. We have an oil pressure gauge, and we have a digital screen which we can change what it displays. We can even do a lap timer on there, which is very useful for timing the toge runs. The factory seats in this Z are very well bolstered. Honestly, just excellent seats. Really happy with these. I put a Nismo shift knob on here because I love the way that these feel. And there's my handbrake extension. This car has the factory DVD navigation system installed in it. Very rare option in the US, but here in Japan I believe it was a little more popular. It also, here in Japan, because we have the ETC toll system, it has a built-in ETC reader, and there's also an aftermarket one here. I don't know why there's two. Overall, I just think the Z is a beautiful car. I've always wanted to own one. The engine has a lot of power. It's a superbly balanced chassis. The engine is mounted very far back within the chassis. It's technically a front midship car, so the weight balance is actually 53/47. So it feels very similar to the Altezza, actually. Almost identical wheelbase. It's a little bit heavier, actually, even though it's a coupe. It's quite a massive coupe. But it is very well planted, very well grounded, very balanced. The chassis doesn't oversteer or understeer too much. It kind of just goes into a four-wheel drift when you lose traction. A very good feeling car. Now there are drawbacks to the Z, namely visibility. So you can't really see out of the car all that well. The windows are quite narrow, and then there is no cargo room at all. That's also a problem. In the Altezza I could fit like 2 sets of tires. In this car, the trunk can fit maybe 1 or 2, and then we can stuff some in the passenger seat as well. But that's it. It doesn't really fit all that much. As far as suspension, currently we're riding on coilovers. So here we are. We can see the coilovers that we have on this car. Apparently, Phantom Racing is a well-known brand here in Japan. These tires are straight off of my Altezza. These are Toyo R1Rs, which are a very high grip tire for the rain. And back when I had the Altezza, I only used to drift in the rain because that car had about 150 horsepower. Not exactly optimal for sliding around in the dry. As you can see, this one has the Fair Lady Z badges on it. That is from the factory because we are in Japan. The car is right-hand drive. It's a Fair Lady. The body is quite banged up, this quarter panel being notably the worst of it. I'm probably gonna be able to bang that out a bit. If not, we can go for a wide body in the future. I don't know how long I'm gonna have this car for, so one thing is I wasn't even sure if I was gonna get a car at all after I blew up the engine in the Altezza. So the Altezza was burning oil, running rough, and it ran a little bit low on oil out here on the toge, so developed a knock. So I ended up trading that car, plus a little bit of cash on top for this Z, because I have about 2 months left in Japan, the way things are now, on my current visa. So unless I find a reason or a bunch of money or can get a work visa somehow, I'm going to be leaving back to the US. Now, while I'm here, I want to maximize that time, go to drift tracks, practice driving, because as of right now, my goal is to go pro as a driver. Now, that is a dream that a lot of people have. There are very, very many talented people who are way better than me at driving. There are good drivers everywhere, and not everyone can see this path through till the end. And I'm very aware that this is something you need a lot of money for, a lot of funding for sponsors and whatnot. But it is something that I am committed to doing, something I'm willing to try my best at to see how far I can take this. Because if it's my dream, I want to make sure that I put in a little bit of effort to make sure that I don't leave anything on the table. Because if I just give up and go home right now, then I don't really know if I'll be able to live with myself, knowing that I could have went for my dream, I could have tried something, but then ended up not doing it because I was too afraid. So I'm going to try this. I'm going to see how it goes. I'm very aware that it may not go anywhere, that I might just end up wasting some money and failing. But here is my car. Here is my plan. I'm going to go to events around the Kansai area, Meihan, Tokushima Kartland, Bihoku. Going to try to win some trophies and maybe see about growing my Instagram and YouTube and try to get some sponsors. So here's the engine that's going to be powering my dreams. It is a VQ35DE engine from 2005. This chassis is honestly probably the favorite out of all the cars that I've owned so far. I had a G35. I don't think I posted too many videos on it, but that car was automatic, had a DE engine just like this. So I have a little bit of experience when it comes to fixing these cars and the problems that they have. I've never actually had the opportunity to drive that car because I never got it running, but this car I got in a running and driving condition, obviously, so this is my first time driving around in a VQ, and I will say the power is exceptional. It really does feel great. You just give it some gas and the rear will kick out if you ask it to. The Achilles heel that I would say is on these cars would have to be the rear differential. Now, Nissan did equip most Zs from the factory with a limited slip rear, and this car does in fact have a limited slip differential. However, this LSD is a viscous LSD, so under most conditions it actually kind of just acts like an open diff and opens up on me. So really it's awful for drifting, overheats easily, and it's not really usable for drifting purposes. As a result, I will be changing that out for a welded RC33 differential from a V36 Skyline very shortly. After that, before I go to my first event, I also want to grab some drift spares, throw some nice Project Mu handbrake shoes on the rear to get it gripping up real nice. I've installed this handbrake extension. We have a Nismo shift knob on there, and the factory seat holds me in really well, so I'm not too concerned about getting a bucket seat. After that, really the only mods it needs to keep going sideways would probably be an angle kit and then regular maintenance to make sure it doesn't blow up. As far as angle kit, I'm not sure I'm actually going to do that while I'm here, just because I'm on a tight budget and on a limited time. But if we do end up staying longer, I will get a Cusco 1.5 wave rear diff, an angle kit, and probably a bale side body kit eventually if I have money for that kind of thing. As of right now, it's already kind of in a beat up state, so I'm not too worried if I do a bit of an aggressive entry at Meihan or Tokushima and scrape up the rear bumper, because it's really not in that great of a shape at the moment. It's not even paint matched, and there are random stickers that the previous owner stuck on here from the old tires. That's how well the exterior has been cared for. Aside from that though, really the paint was quite nice. It's the nice pearl white finish. It's hard to see the pearl in this lighting, but it's a really nice paint, really nice interior. It was a well-optioned car with factory navigation, a lot of nice factory options. Here we can see the awful luggage room in this car. That's a 14-inch tire, and it doesn't even fit in there. Yeah, there's also a massive strut brace in the rear, which I'm sure is great for rigidity, but really gets in the way of cargo room. This is not a car to get if you want something practical. The Altezza was definitely leaps and bounds better as far as that goes. But there you have it. There is my Nissan Fairlady Z. It's been a long time coming to get to this point. I am really excited for what's to come. I have no idea whether or not any of this is gonna pan out the way I want it to, but I do know that I'm gonna keep trying. I really just appreciate all of you guys being here, being subscribed to the channel, following along on my journey here. I've received so many messages and comments from you guys cheering me on, and honestly, it just feels surreal. I I have no idea if any of this is going to work out, as I said, but I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep making content. I'm going to keep trying to find sponsors and try to make it as a driver. I know this sounds insane, crazy, but all the people who are successful had to be a little bit crazy at some point to get to where they are today. So I know that this is a career path that is technically possible. I don't have to know that I will make it. I just have to know that there is a possible path forward. And now that I know that there is a way to get forward in this career, in driving, I have to give it a try. I have to give it a shot just to see how far I can take it, to see how far my max potential is, to see if I can become one of the top drivers in the world. I know that's very unrealistic, and a lot of people would call me crazy for even mentioning something like that, but that's a dream, and it's a dream I'm willing to fight for, a dream I'm willing to give everything for. So if you want to see me on my journey, you want to follow along, support the dream, then I highly encourage you to subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.